just make it that. It's the ratio of 5 over 2, so yeah. I'll explain it in a second here, once we get that far. Okay, so boom, boom, hide. All right, so if we take the square root, cosecant of x equals the square root of 29 over 2. And then the sine, we flip that over. And we can't keep the square root of 29 on the bottom. So we multiply top and bottom by square root of 29. So tangent is sine over cosine, because negative 2/5, here's a 2, here's a negative 5. This over this, because everything else would cancel, would be negative 2/5. But you can't just make it some arbitrary, well, sine is 2 and cosine is 5. Okay? Doesn't work like that. Because sine and cosine, neither one of them can be bigger than 1. So it's just the ratio of those two. So you sometimes have to find cosecant or secant or tangent or whatever first before you find sine or cosine. Now, sometimes it works when you find like sine or cosine to just, okay, that's what tangents equal and throw them down. But sometimes it doesn't. So are we good with this one now? Yeah. For now? Cosecant of x. So if we know cosecant of x, what do we find first? So sine of x equals 5 over 3 square root of 5. And it's a negative. We're in quadrant 3. So you can't keep the square root of 5 on the bottom. So what do? Multiply by square root of 5. So you get negative 5 square root of 5 over 3 times 5. You say, well, why don't you just multiply them? Because I know I can see right now my 5s are going to cancel. So it's negative square root of 5 over 3. Yikes. Come on, be back. There. So that's what sine is. Should we find cosine now? Sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1, right? So negative square root of 5 over 3 squared plus cosine squared equals 1. So square root of 5 squared. What's square root of 5 times square root of 5? 5. 3 times 3 is? 5 nines plus cosine squared of x equals 1. We subtract cosine squared of x equals 4 ninths. Then just take the square root. What's the cosine of x going to equal? 2/3. And since we're in quadrant 3, it's going to be negative. Now we got some nicer numbers to work with. So to find tangent, it's actually pretty easy. We can just do sine over cosine, right? So since I have a complex fraction, and if I multiply by the denominator of the denominator, the 3's cancel, and I get negative square root of 5 over negative 2, which they become positive. Square root of 5 over 2. What's secant? It's a reciprocal of what? Cosine. So it's negative 3 over 2. Cotangent's the reciprocal of? So cotangent of x equals 2 over square root of 5. Can't leave square root on the bottom. So it's 2 square root of 5 over 5. There you go. All right, now to a little easier stuff. What's the cosine of negative x equal to? Cosine of x, so you get cosine of x minus cosine of x, which equals 0. What's the sine of negative x equal to? Negative sine of x. What's cosine of negative x equal to? What's cosecant of negative x equal to? Negative cosecant of x. What's negative cosecant of x equal to? Cosecant is 1 over sine. So what happens? Sines cancel, and negative times a negative is a. So we end up with just the positive. I wonder, now my voice will probably be gone from the rest of this video. Because it screws it up somehow. So it's cosine of x. It can only handle so much of Mr. Bierschbach. All right. So now what do we do when we find the product? Foil. 6 sine squared of x. Outers is minus 15 sine of x. Inners is plus 2 sine of x. Last is minus 5. So it's 6 sine squared of x minus 13 sine of x minus 5. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. This one, when it's quantity squared, we write it twice in FOIL. So we get 4 cosine squared of x. Outer is minus 14 cosine of x. Inners is minus 14 cosine of x. Last times last is positive 49. So it's 4 cosine squared of x minus 28 cosine of x plus 49. Factor. Uh-oh. Do the AC one because there's a 2 in front here. So AC is negative 6. So factors of negative 6 that add up to negative 5. 1 and negative 6. Okay? So you write 2 cosine of x plus 1 and 2 cosine of x minus 6. Greatest common factor of these two is 1. Greatest common factor of these two is 2. So you divide by those. So it's 2 cosine of x plus 1 and cosine of x minus 3. So it's 2 cosine squared of x. Outers is minus 6 cosine of x. Inners is plus cosine of x. So that makes negative 5 cosine of x minus 3. Then number 8, Kenter's favorite factoring pattern. Difference of squares. 2 sine of x plus and minus, and then 3 cosine of x. Number 9 is just normal factoring. When there's no first term coefficient, you put down 2 sets of parentheses. How we split up cosine squared? Cosine x, cosine of x. Signs are the same. They are both negative. So it's a negative and a negative. Multiply to be a positive 8, add up to be a negative 6. What two numbers multiply to be a positive 8, add up to be a negative 6? There we go. This one has a first term coefficient, but when the first and last terms each have a square root, it's a perfect square trinomial. 3 cosine of x, sine of the middle term, minus square root of the last term, 2 squared. Because if you'd write it out twice in FOIL, you could get that. Okay. That's the pre-review of the review. Now, time for the review worksheet. And because we almost had tears, I'll just go over this tomorrow in class. So, where did I put it? I put it. Nope. Careful.
Did he make you guys find out about that?
No, he was like, maybe it's because we're too many assignments on time.
And we were
gone.
And then he said something about, I took a picture of him holding up my assignment and he still wouldn't put my grade in. After he lost it, and I was like, I have a picture. He was holding my assignment. He was like, you better find it. He was like, I have it. He was like, yeah, his assignment. And then he said, if you put your block number on there, it'd be nice too.
Who's that?
Court.
He loses everything.
But he didn't even have my assignment.
He doesn't put it in.
Okay, there you go.
It's because he has books on his desk, so then he doesn't have any space.
His desk is clean now.
His closets are full of spaghettios and juice.
Yeah.
The closets are full of SpaghettiOs.
Yes.
And
juice.
It's really nice to get it in, but
No, the corn is
Actually, I love spaghettios.
I've never had spaghettios.
I am not a big fan of canned pasta. Who's not?
I don't like canned chicken also. Canned chicken also.
I like ramen noodles.
I didn't care where it came from.
I
don't like cooked ramen noodles.
I like.
Do you just crunch on the raw ones?
Yes.
That's good too. I like all kinds of ramen noodles.
Number one's right. Number two, you get the right way.
Yeah, I'm having ramen noodles for lunch. But the only kind of good ramen noodles I make is the chicken ones.
Yeah.
Those are the only ramens I make.
We're just starting a lesson in Spanish, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna go around your vocab words and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I can go home.
Spanish, what are they about like selling and like arguing and stuff like. And we have to.
In what class?
Spanish. So like for one of the days we have to bargain and
What? Bargain shopping? Like
Yeah.
sales?
Yeah.
so some people are vendors and they sell stuff and then we have to like bargain.
That sounds better idea.
And then whoever has like the most money.
We never did that.
Yeah,
we have a lot of extra time because we finished all our lessons early. Like we're literally done. We have one lesson left.
And this is our last lesson.
I still remember doing that. We did
finished
that
early
too.
I don't remember doing anything about bargaining. Well, maybe I do.
I don't remember doing like the numbers. Is this where the chapter you learn about the numbers?
Yeah, you sit down.
Like the big numbers. Like you
That
come
was
to
in like
100.
Spanish one.
No,
So
100 was in Spanish too.
Oh,
They're talking about like when we like learn like store, like tienda and stuff, right?
No, that we
It's
learned that in
like-
one thing.
It's like
thought you said
earrings
one.
and jewelry.
you gotta know your trick, yeah.
I don't remember when we didn't do that.
We just the one
About like vacation.
our last
bargain.
session had like vacation.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember learning that.
Yeah,
the opposite. Wait, are we supposed to do this?
I think we're working on it and he's going over it. Is that gonna be on the board for the quiz?
Nope.
Oh man. Why is there so much stuff on your board? Your board looks like Mr. Quartz's desk.
That's offensive.
Paula, it's like so chaotic.
Not really. It's all organized. It's like there's blocks.
That's like an organized mess. And that's not
Good. Thank you. What was last week? I just remember I was gone.
Yeah, but don't you want to know what
It was
No, I
The
don't.
I
I
of a circle. Oh,
You don't want to know that?
I'm scared for that.
Now you hurt his feelings. See, why don't you use this backboard for some of it? I'm gonna be more organized. It's not everyone can see.
I can't guarantee your answers are right, but I mean your work is right. So.
So Mr. Bierschbach, the cosine is the inverse of the secant, right?
Graduation parties.
I hope so.
The cosine is the inverse of the secant.
Oh, the ceremony. I
Yeah.
was so confused. I was like, I got one graduation party the day of graduation. Why did you say some more? I think some people do. I feel like our dude is like so like
If this is 19, why do you use 12?
so they just
That's a big
yeah, right after.
Okay, circle that.
Send out the email for Tuesday. I'm not going to.
So then you gotta do the math behind it. Well,
Yeah.
you're not
I'm
gonna
excited for these
remember.
guys.
Yeah, even more time when he was sitting at home. He was on vacation. Oh, he's on vacation? I know.
Who was on vacation? No, he wasn't on vacation. He was at a workshop in Pier.
Vacation, that's like.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's not vacation when you have to go to a stinking workshop.
What is a workshop? Oh, I can't go to
A training
I
session.
know, but it has work in the name, so probably just not.
There you go.
I was like, there's no he went on vacation.
I'm so
It's
confused.
be a sad vacation. Yeah, me believe Miss Woodruff came because there's black to watch out of the signal. What did
She got sick or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she went home.
She went home sick, but she was there.
Did she like throw up or something?
No,
She
she
didn't.
just said she was going home. She didn't look like she felt very well.
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't like talk at all.
Oh, and that's sad.
That's be rude. She was just like,
She touched on
all she said was like, make sure you're doing your Sabbath because there's one who's saying that's it.
I have all of them.
Me too. There's only 7 of them.
Yeah, all of them. I haven't started any of them.
I haven't
That's
started.
like,
I said I was gonna start them like when I got them out, and then I did it.
I always wait till the end to do them. Then
I
I'll
always
remember
say-
how to do the stuff.
Oh, I just filled them out.
I always
I
say I'm
just
gonna like
pulled 'em
start
out.
it like right.
I do.
That's what Kaden said.
I do my review, but I just photograph at the Sabbath because I already did the review.
So,
It's simpler.
I
How do you
normally
do
like
this?
one question.
Definitely photomap
I mean,
over
in
there.
the Sabbath.
3 to the y equals 2 to the x.
One time I
then you're trying to
forgot
solve for y.
because I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock, and then like
You're
I
finding
fell
the
asleep
inverse.
early.
So
Then I
3 to
woke
the
up
x
early,
equals
so I
2
was
to
up
the
at
y.
5:30, and then
Yeah,
I had
and
my
solve
computer,
for
and I was
y.
like,
How do you
Sabbath
solve for
is
y?
due, reminder or whatever. So then I went on my computer and I did the
I'll
Sabbath
get back to
all
this.
morning until like 7.
Well, it
You
wasn't
realize
due
it's
that
not due
much.
midnight?
There we go.
Oh, I know.
3 to the y equals 2 to the x, right?
Yeah.
I was.
No.
I did good on my
Yeah, hypothetically after you switch them.
Yes.
So now you gotta solve for y.
No. 3 to the x.
Why did you erase it?
3 to the x equals 2 to the y.
Erase it again?
Yes.
And then you switch the x and y, and then you solve for y to find the inverse. Or are you gonna solve for x?
I got a weird one. No, it's
It's already been flipped, so it's 3 to the x to the y.
Okay, so now you gotta get y alone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you log both sides. So x log of 3 equals y log of 2. then you have to divide both sides by log of 2. Now this is a change of base formula, so really it's x log base 2 of 3. But if you want to leave it like this, did she leave it like this?
We don't have the word there.
Are we putting that?
No, she leaves it in
Yeah.
my equals form.
Do you
No,
guys
that's-
need
That
help?
would be correct, right?
Maybe
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should do
Yeah.
that. What was the
I don't remember those.
Because this is a change of base formula, so you take
I
log
use
base
that
2.
too.
I'm not there yet. What do you mean?
I do.
You just saw.
Is that
You just wait a minute. Still.
You just saw me. You just.
Why did
No,
you
my chart is
divide?
not going to be on the board. I know the
When
chart.
did you
Subtract
the numbers that I divide?
Yeah.
I was just so much easier than
Alright,
this.
this one.
Okay, well, let's see what other
This isn't the review.
I mean, like, I just don't.
This is the quiz. Did I hand out the quiz?
Yeah.
Well then,
Well, can I get it?
no. So then the review will be the quiz. Okay, because yeah,
Aren't they like they're kind of like the same?
they're like the same thing. So
Wait, but isn't
That's
review
awesome.
harder usually?
the review could be harder, but whatever. It'll be
Can we
fine.
take this back then? Wow.
We
I
don't.
want the easier one.
I'm only on question 3.
Yeah, I didn't even do
I haven't
it.
even started.
know.
I only had two things on the first question.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a question 10. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll just give Oliver the
So you
opposite.
put
So.
X log. X log.
All right.
Well, what if Oliver is better than all of us because he got an easier one?
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
no, we don't.
Side eye.
I don't really know. When you do that.
Did you guys have?
I don't even know.
Wait. Log of BA. So
You guys can do that one, and I'll just make sure the quiz will have an easy enough first problem on it.
Thank you.
Oh, so then you can just change that.
Just
Because,
Okay.
yeah.
So you have 3.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I found the quiz review. Right here. What? Okay, should I, here, how about I take those back
What?
with your names, no, with your names on them. And then I'll hand them back with your names on them. So if you're confident in your first answers,
Oh, okay.
then you still have them, you have the answers down. And then if you're not confident in your answers, then,
I skipped 2 questions. I was doing great.
well, that's fine. You got a head start on your quiz.
wait.
When you actually
so-
take a quiz.
So maybe we can't take over. I might take over.
Well, if you want to be taking the Trig quiz on Thursday.
I will. Good help then. Unfortunately, help.
Wait, are you gonna hand this back?
Almost done? Hannah was almost done.
Yeah, it's in yours.
Let's
Oh.
look at a head start on
Well, I was
this.
thought you were talking about yourself instead
Not
of
really.
I haven't done that.
You're the one that does it.
I do that.
It's on an eight. We're gonna investigate right now.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's quick on the 26th, right? Okay.
No, I didn't.
My bad.
I know.
But it's just the first one. So
How do we never did that. How do we know?
Why is my calculator almost dead?
well,
my
you
calculator
have
is
a
that.
thing to the
Your battery is up.
thing to the power up and the logarithm. You put the other thing into base.
I might do this.
Oh, you need a weird thing you want to know. Oh,
The weird thing that we didn't learn.
You have it.
The weird thing that we didn't learn.
This is
That she
also
already
for the
taught that we didn't know.
How do you do this?
Either
I
way.
said
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
on
to
the
class.
same.
Me too.
It was starting last.
Do you want to do that right now?
When's the deadline again?
I think it's happening. Cosine for what?
Maybe I should do all that tonight.
What's
Oh,
all
what
of
am
this?
I talking about?
What's the deadline for?
Is it stresses me out?
I don't know, but I need to sign up for bio.
Oh.
Literally our summer.
I don't know how to
It's
do
like
it. It's like the 19th. I need to sign up for bio. Ellie, did you sign up for bio grade credit?
Not yet.
Okay, I might do that on Monday if I don't do it this week.
What do you need to fill out like the free sheet? I don't know.
Have you did you take 152? Or 151? Okay, so you're in the same boat as me, but if you're 151 or just leave it in my class.
You find your 3x equals to what?
Went in there.
3x equals to what?
Wait, what?
She said that because I went to her mom just right now.
I'm definitely gonna
And
tell
she
you.
said that if you're not took it, then you have to start.
3 gold.
But that's not.
Then I thought this was that sheet.
Because she told me already. She had it on her little computer.
3 gods.
I don't know. I feel like they tell you.
2
Like you said,
gold.
not yet. I'm starting to. Because I have a question on it.
I have to do
Numbers. What is this?
Are we doing ACT?
Y.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do both of these.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this.
We never did that.
I have a good idea. I'm doing it previously.
But also, that's what I have.
So if you're gonna go to USD and you do so many credits through USD, you'll credit you get a scholarship. But it's not a huge scholarship.
You can put your ACT
Okay.
but I'm not taking my in-house.
I don't know. Because I asked her.
Well, you can talk to the kids taking USD math.
Yeah, Nick told me to do it through USD.
My mom wants me to keep that from daddy.
She wants me to do it for college.
Okay, so.
Not like me, that really already started the other one. I can't do this one.
What?
Just like put it at the bottom.
Yes, I just don't know.
That was the last one actually.
Yes.
Remember?
I thought
This
we
one
just.
has the these.
We have the other one.
Oh.
Look at all this algebra we have.
The camera stuff is in this thing.
It's a lot of algebra.
Thank you.
We want to trade those kids.
Oh, just go.
My grades aren't getting.
Much. Oh. Smart.
Okay, I'm done.
Did you get like really small decimal?
I don't even know. I literally didn't know any of the questions at all.
Yes.
We should probably.
She wants them. I have no idea. I don't know.
No, not that one. That's just
Nothing.
10,000.
I worked on my Trig. Wait, which one is that?
No, that's from a little while.
It says 6%.
Wait,
So this was Tuesday.
Oh, I put on my infection for it, but she used to get me.
Wow.
Why did I
She
put
didn't
mine
tell me
after
that,
algebra?
so I'm not
She
She
gonna.
never gives me 100 ever.
And then we'll just do
I just got an 18 out of 20.
She didn't tell me to do that, so I'm not doing it.
See, that's the nice thing about them.
Yeah, I just left mine in front.
Whoa, what is that
We can
number?
check with each other. And make sure that they have all this. And we have to do like.
I don't think that's right, because you can't have a negative in the
Is
office.
this Whoa,
I think it's 4
That's what you do.
Yeah.
10.
But it's.
It's different.
Is cotangent the inverse?
That's how it usually is.
No, no, you have to divide.
Was the same? Is it not the same exact question?
You have to divide it by. Oh yeah,
Not
this one is, I
said.
think. Pretty much.
Inverse of
This one is
Yeah.
the second one.
What do I have
You have
to
to divide by 2.
And